Well, here we are launching into our second problem on this test, and this is a review that we're doing of intermediate algebra. And you see this problem before you, but actually we better scroll up a little and see what the instructions were for this problem. Okay, the instructions were to divide using synthetic division. And that's what we did with the first problem. We divided using synthetic division. But notice the two. There's the first problem. We did that one in the previous video. And now this is our problem. It looks different. But what is different? Well, okay, in the first problem, it had this for the dividing symbol, and it had the divisor out here at the end, and it had the dividend in the front. We've seen this type of setup before. And now with our new problem, the new problem has the divisor down in the denominator. It has a fraction set up here, and the divisor's in the denominator part, and the dividend is up here in the numerator part. And we have a fraction bar that is performing the same function as the division symbol was in the first problem. Okay, so just as in the last case, we must make sure that this is set up in the right format before we can begin. And so first we must check the dividend. And is it in the proper form? If you remember, it must be in descending powers. And also we kind of mentioned in passing that there can't be any missing terms. Okay, so let's check out the dividend. That's the top part up here. Is it in descending powers? Well, it starts with x to the third power, and then it jumps straight to a -9 here. That's definitely descending. That would be x to the 0 power, I guess, if you wanted to put an x to the 0 power out here. But notice we do have a problem. So it is descending, but we have a problem. We have some missing terms. What are the missing terms? Well, let's see. The missing terms, it goes from x to the third down to x to the 0. So we've got a couple of missing terms, and we must fill them in. Okay. So we have x to the second is missing. So the coefficient for the x to the second term is 0 because it's not there. And then plus, and what should the we also have a missing x term. What should its coefficient be? Well, 0 again. Okay, so now at least the dividend meets the criteria that we have to have. It's in descending powers, x to the third, x to the second, x, and down to the constant term, which you can barely see in here, the -9. And so that's fine. Now we filled in our missing terms. How about the denominator? The denominator was to be in the form x minus c. X minus c. Is our denominator in that form, x minus c? Well, yes, it is. There, x minus 2, that's x minus c. The constant in this case is, what's the constant? The constant is 2. Oops, 2. Okay, so now we can begin. So if you remember, the first thing we set up is kind of a little box or a backwards L. And what goes in the little box? The 2. What c is? That's 2. So I'm putting that in the box. And then what goes alongside the box? Well, the coefficients from the dividend. So we just bring them down in order. The 4 is the first one. And now, so what's the second one? 0, one of the missing terms. And the third coefficient, another 0. And the last coefficient is the constant, which you can barely read in there because I've almost obliterated it, but it was -9. Take my word for it, it was -9. And then we draw a line down underneath, leaving some space. And then do you remember from the first problem what we did after that? Yes, we draw a kind of an arrow down here to kind of get the process going, and we are going, and what that indicates is that we're just going to bring this 4 down below the line that we drew. And now we start a process of multiplication and then addition, multiplication and addition, repeating over and over again. So the first multiplication is from the number that's in the box, the 2. Down here we multiply that times the 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Put that in this spot. And now it's time for the addition. We just add straight down. 0 plus 8, easy addition. 0 plus 8 is 8. And now we repeat. We take the number that's in the box, the 2, multiply it this time times the 8. And 2 times 8 is 16. It goes up here. Add again. 0 plus 16 is 16. One more multiplication. 2 times 16 is 32. And a -9 plus 32 is 23. Okay, we've completed that, and now we're ready to go ahead and write our answer, our solution. And our solution will be a polynomial. It will be of degree 1 less than the degree of the dividend, and the dividend had what degree? The dividend had degree 3. So our polynomial will begin with degree 1 less than 3, which is 1 less than 3 is 2. And what's the coefficient? Well, we just bring it down. It's that 4 that we have right here. And then we just continue in descending powers. So the next one is a plus 8. And that would be x to the first power. Then finish it up, plus 16. And in the last position, that's the remainder. In this case, we have a remainder of 23. You write the remainder as, in this case it's a positive, so I put a plus sign there. And then form a fraction, because we're going to write our remainder as a fraction with the 23 in the numerator. And in the denominator is the original divisor. And here's our original divisor way up here. That was x minus 2. That goes down here. X minus 2. And so our answer was, and this is the quotient. The quotient was 4x squared plus 8x plus 16 plus 23 over, or divided by x minus 2. The 23 over x minus 2 is the remainder. And that finishes our second problem. See you next time.